You know that flutter in your stomach when you have to speak in front of people? Or the shake in your knees when you're standing somewhere high? Heaviness in your chest when you hear bad news? Or the flash of heat when all eyes are on you? These are emotions. But why do we feel them in our bodies? If emotions live in the brain, why do they tighten our stomach, shake our legs, and flash our cheeks? For me, when I get nervous, my stomach tightens so much I can't eat. It always starts in the stomach long before I can put it into words. So let's dig into that mystery. Where does the signal really travel? You know that feeling when all eyes suddenly land on you? Maybe you spill a coffee in the meeting or say something awkward, and your face suddenly heats up. That rush of warmth, that instant redness that gives you away, it's one of the strangest, most human reactions we have, blushing. Even Charles Darwin was fascinated by it. He called it the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. And it's hard to disagree. Why would we evolve to announce our embarrassment to everyone around us? Blushing comes from the same fight-or-flight system we've been talking about, but it behaves differently. When you feel embarrassed, your brain treats it as a kind of danger, but not physical, social. It's like your body is saying, oh no, everyone's watching and everyone's judging. And normally, adrenaline makes your blood vessels tighten, but in your face, it does the opposite. It tells certain veins to open up. Blood rushes in, your cheeks flush, your skin warms. Scientists think this happens because the veins in our face are unusually sensitive. They react strongly to adrenaline through a messenger called adrenaline cycles. In simple terms, your face is wired to show emotion, whether you like it or not. And it might not be an accident. Some researchers believe that blushing evolved as a social sign. Your body's way of saying, I know I messed up. Mark Twain once joked that man is the only animal that blushes. Or needs to. And maybe that's true. A red face makes us feel more honest, more forgivable, even a little endearing. You can't fake it. And you can stop it. For some people, chronic blushing can be so intense they choose surgery to block the facial nerve that triggers it. For most of us, though, it's just an occasional betrayal. A visible burst of emotion when you wish you could stay invisible. Sweaty, slippery palms is the classic sign of anxiety. It happens before a speech, a job interview, or first date. You haven't even moved yet, and somehow you're already sweating. When your brain senses pressure, your sympathetic system flips the switch. Heart rate speeds up, breathing quickens, and sweat glands turn on. And from survival standpoint, it actually makes sense. If you had to run or fight, you would heat up quickly. So it starts cooling you down before you even move. That's why you can start sweating just from anticipation. Your body thinks it's getting ready for action. Now, why the hands specifically? Our palms and soles are packed with green sweat glands, tiny sensors that react to emotional stress. Some scientists believe that slightly down palms helped our ancestors to get a better grip. It's useful if you needed to climb, grab, or hold onto something while escaping danger. Today, though, it mostly makes us fumble. Pens sliding, microphones slipping, handshakes going sideways. But if it helps, it happens to almost everyone. In medicine and psychology, sweaty palms is a textbook sign that your body's alert system is active. And that reaction, as uncomfortable as it feels, is universal. Maybe misplaced in an air-conditioned office, yes, but still, your body is just trying to help. You felt that lump in your throat, haven't you? That heaviness right behind your chest when you're heartbroken or grieving. We even say, I have a heavy heart. And it's not just a metaphor. Sadness can literally make your chest feel heavy, tight, almost pressured. So what's going on there? Are our hearts actually weighed down by sorrow? In a way, yes. Deep sadness or grief sets off a wave of stress responses in the body, similar to fear, but slower, heavier. The main player here is cortisol, the stress hormone. Because when you're grieving, your body registers that pain as stress, and your adrenal glands start releasing cortisol into your bloodstream, increasing your heart rate, your blood pressure, even your blood sugar. Sadness also changes the way you breathe, because when you feel deeply upset, your breathing becomes shallow and uneven, your chest muscles tighten, If you combine this with cortisol's effect, your chest can genuinely feel as if a weight is pressing down on it. In some cases, this weight can become something more serious, what doctors call stress cardiomyopathy, or a broken heart syndrome. An intense surge of stress hormones can temporarily stun the heart, causing chest pain that mimics a heart attack. It's rare, but very real. Grief can quite literally break your heart. Most of the time, though, sadness just makes everything feel slower. You move less, you feel heavy. Studies show that sadness reduces sensation in your limbs. It's your body's way of conserving energy. Even the word depression comes from the Latin deprimere, to press down. And that's exactly what it feels like, as if the emotion itself is pressing down on your chest, your muscles, your entire body. Picture this. You're standing somewhere high, maybe on a balcony or a lookout. You look down and your heart jumps into your throat. Suddenly your knees go soft, almost like they can't hold you up. And the jelly-like feeling isn't just in your head, it's your body reacting to fear. When you're scared, the brain triggers the same system that excitement does, the fight-or-flight response, only stronger. Your body instantly gets ready for action, flooding itself with adrenaline and sending blood to your biggest muscles, especially your legs. It's your brain saying, "Go now." But here's a paradox. The same surge that is meant to make you feel powerful can also make you feel lightheaded or weak. As your heart pounds and your blood redistributes, the pressure to your brain can dip for a moment, just enough to make the world tilt slightly. And those legs, filled with oxygen and energy, they start to tremble. They're ready to move, but since you're standing still, all that power comes out as shaking. And when fear tips into panic, another system can take over. The vagus nerve steps in and overcorrects, slowing your heart rate too much and dropping your blood pressure. That's the body slamming the brakes, what scientists call the freeze response. In evolutionary terms, maybe pretending to be dead helped someone survive a predator. Today, it just makes us feel unsteady and weak. You felt it, that flutter in your stomach when you're nervous or excited, maybe before a job interview or a first date. It feels like something's alive in your stomach. We call them butterflies, but what's really happening isn't magic, it's pure biology. As soon as the brain senses a high-stakes situation, it releases adrenaline, the fight-or-flight hormone. Your heart speeds up, breathing quickens, and blood is pulled away from your digestive system towards the muscles, preparing you for action. As soon as the stomach loses some of its blood supply, your digestion slows down. The muscles there tense and move differently. That's the flutter we feel. Meanwhile, the vagus nerve, the communication highway between your brain and gut, is buzzing with messages. It's basically your brain saying, "Something big is happening, hold off on digestion for now." That's why you can feel both the excitement in your head and that uneasy flutter in your stomach. Scientists describe this as part of the sympathetic nervous system, your body's way of gearing up for action, whether it means running from danger or confessing your love. Sometimes emotions build past butterflies, pounding heart, and heavy chest until they overflow, and we cry. Tears may be the most human reaction of all. But why do we cry when we are overwhelmed, heartbroken, or even happy? Turns out emotional tears serve a double purpose. They're both a physical release and a form of communication. But let's start with the biology. When you cry, either from sadness, frustration, or joy, you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system. It's your body's rest and digest mode. Usually, an intense stress triggers the sympathetic system, the fight-or-flight response. And crying is when your body shifts from tension to release. It's your body's way of finding calm again. Your heart rate starts to slow, your breathing evens out, and after a good cry, that exhausted calm you feel, that's the parasympathetic system at work. It's the recovery phase after stress. Emotional tears have a different chemistry than the ones that you get when you chop onions or on the wind. They contain stress-related substances like ACTH and prolactin. along with endorphin-like chemicals that ease pain. Some researchers suggest that crying helps to flush out the stress hormones, literally lightening the chemical load of your body. That may be why after a good cry you felt this strange relief, because you literally just drained some stress away. But tears aren't only personal, they're also social. Humans are wired to respond to another person in tears. From the moment we are born, crying is signaling parents that the child needs care. And even as adults, tears still do that. They draw people closer. When someone cries, we don't need words to understand what's happening. It's a silent message that says, I'm hurting, I need help. That's why scientists think that emotional tears evolved as a kind of social clue. Charles Darwin once thought that tears had no purpose. Today, researchers disagree. They see tears as a form of communication, a human sign of honesty and need. And there is one more fascinating detail. That lump in your throat before you cry, that tight, choking feeling, comes from your glottis, the opening of your throat, that is trying to stay opened while your body fights between holding emotion and letting it out. And once we do cry, the muscles relax, the breathing flows, the tension starts to ease. It's becoming pretty clear that the feeling is never just in your head. From the flutter in your stomach, to the knees shaking, to the falling tears, the body is a part of every feeling we have. It's translating what our minds feel. The scientists even mapped this connection. When people mark where do they feel emotions, fear and anxiety lights up chest and head, sadness cools arms and legs, and happiness spreads warmth almost everywhere. It's a proof of what we've always known. The mind and the body are constantly talking to each other. And it's not a bug, it's a feature. That's how we're designed, what makes us human. Our bodies don't just carry our feelings, they are our feelings.